My name is Jacqueline. I came from Paris, France. In 1965, I left all my friends, extended family, and my childhood home to move to upstate New York with my father, mother, and sister. My father was a U.S. citizen and lived in New York. My father would tell me stories about America and the history and how the freedom was the biggest part of America. I was only 11 years old, and I thought this was an amazing country to live in. My father got my mother, sister, and I all passports to move. Not much was wrong with France, but my parents believed that our lives would be better in the States. After a long journey of 9 hours or more in the plane, we finally arrived in New York, the Big Apple, or La Grosse Pomme, my father would say, since I didn't know any English. Some hardships about coming to America was I didn't know any English and school was extremely hard. I was also only 11 years old and struggled since this was when I was going through adolescence. Everything seemed terrible to me since I left all my friends and extended family in France. I did believe that if I came when I was younger, it would have been an easier move for me. One thing I remember from my childhood, after we came and got settled, we decided to swim at this community pool my father would go to when he was growing up. He told me to not talk when it came to paying for us to swim. He said, "Don't talk, don't speak French. She doesn't like immigrants." Back then, knowing a language meant you mostly likely came from that country versus now how people love to learn new languages in their free time. When this happened, I didn't know what an immigrant was or what he was talking about in general, but I kept my mouth shut. I'm now 65 years old, and I have 5 children and 14 grandchildren. On certain days, I do miss France and my family, but I still go to France to see them, and I like to keep the traditions alive by making French food, speaking French, and celebrating French holidays like Basil Day. America is now my home. I do love it here, and I'm glad that I was given the opportunity to live here and raise my children here. Being an immigrant is not a good thing or a bad thing. Being an immigrant does not make you less, but it comes with complications. But thankfully, I am here today, and I will continue to live life even through all the hardships.